The night it happened, the world stopped breathing. You could almost feel the tremor through every screen, every scroll, every shocked heartbeat. Doug Christie, the man once known for loyalty that never wavered, stood shattered in front of millions. The story that had inspired love, trust, and devotion had just turned to ash. For years, fans looked at Doug and Jackie Christie as proof that love could survive anything: the spotlight, the gossip, the chaos of fame. They were the couple people pointed to and said, "That's real." But tonight, the illusion cracked wide open. A video, grainy but undeniable, spread across the internet like wildfire. And the faces in that footage? Jackie Christie and Montel Jordan, the very man Doug once called his brother. No one was ready. You couldn't script this kind of heartbreak. The silence after the video hit was deafening, a collective pause before the storm. Within minutes, hashtags exploded. Or Jackie scandal, or justice for Doug, or Montel betrayal. The internet became a sea of disbelief. Fans were sobbing on live streams, others screaming into their phones. It wasn't just a scandal, it was the collapse of everything people thought was sacred. For Doug, it wasn't just betrayal. It was annihilation. Witnesses say he watched that video once, then again, and again. Every second burned deeper. You could almost imagine his hands trembling, jaw locked, the man who once smiled through every storm now staring at the unthinkable. Friends say he whispered, "This can't be real," before the rage took over. Then he was gone, car engine roaring into the night, straight toward Montel Jordan's home. Neighbors described the sound of screeching tires, shouting, chaos. Doug, once calm and composed, had finally broken. He confronted the man who'd shared his dinners, his secrets, his faith, the man who'd destroyed his life. No cameras needed. The streetlights and flashing sirens told the story. By morning, Montel was in the hospital, and the internet was in flames. The betrayal wasn't some tabloid fling. This was months, maybe years, of deceit. Secret meetings, late-night calls, coded messages, all hidden under a perfect smile. Every text now leaked. Every photo dissected. What began as a simple rumor had turned into a cultural earthquake. And Jackie Christie, the woman who'd spent decades building her brand as the loyal wife, was suddenly the villain of every timeline. Her image, once elegance and devotion, now replayed in endless clips that screamed deceit. The pain hit harder because Doug Christie wasn't just a celebrity. He was that guy. The man who defended his wife from rumors, who called her his queen, who wore his love like armor. And now that armor had been ripped off in front of the world. If Doug Christie can be betrayed, one fan posted through tears, what hope do the rest of us have? The comment went viral. Across TikTok, people burned their posters. On Instagram, couples argued in comment sections about loyalty and trust. Even psychologists began dissecting the phenomenon on morning shows, how betrayal feels amplified when it happens to someone we all thought was untouchable. This wasn't just gossip anymore. It was therapy, rage, grief, playing out in real time. Inside the Christie household, chaos reigned. Doug hadn't slept in days. His phone buzzed nonstop, every new alert another wound. "You okay, bro?" Messages poured in from old teammates. But how do you answer that when your world's been burned down? He reportedly locked himself in his office, replaying the footage over and over until his hands shook. "This isn't betrayal," one friend said he murmured. "This is murder of the soul." And still Jackie stayed silent. No post, no denial. Just a void that screamed guilt. Montel Jordan, the man at the center of the storm, vanished too. Concerts canceled, sponsors gone, his legacy shredded overnight. Fans who once danced to his songs now flooded his comment section with heartbreak emojis and accusations. "You sang about love," one wrote. "You forgot what it meant." But the deeper investigators dug, the darker it got. This wasn't just emotional betrayal, it was financial too. Reports claimed Doug's multi-million-dollar empire had been quietly siphoned through side deals and shell companies connected to Montel and Jackie. Millions allegedly moved in secret, hidden beneath the surface of their public perfection. What had seemed like the world's most devoted marriage was now a web of deception. And yet, what broke the internet wasn't the money. It was the moment Doug went live. Sitting alone in a dimly lit room, eyes red and swollen, voice trembling, he looked straight into the camera. "I gave her my life," he said. "My heart, my trust, my everything." And she gave it away. Then silence. You could hear the sound of his breath, the kind of sound that sticks with you. That clip spread across the globe in minutes. Millions watched it on loop, not because they loved the drama, but because they felt the pain. Doug Christie had become something no one expected, the face of heartbreak in the digital age. A man stripped bare, betrayed, and viral. Every tear he shed became a meme, every scream became a remix, every post became a debate. And behind it all, the quiet realization settled in. Love in this world isn't just fragile. It's fatal. By sunrise, the story had consumed everything. News anchors read the transcripts. Podcasters dissected timelines. Fans speculated endlessly about what led Jackie to risk everything. And somewhere out there, Doug sat in silence, staring at the wreckage of his life, the perfect marriage now reduced to trending hashtags and heartbreak. If you were there, watching it unfold in real time, you'd understand. This wasn't just a scandal. It was the death of trust. The public watched it happen, helpless and fascinated. And in that silence, one truth became painfully clear. Doug Christie's love story wasn't a fairy tale after all. It was a warning. By sunrise, the world had changed for Doug Christie. What was once a private heartbreak had become a public obsession. News anchors whispered his name like a tragedy, while millions of strangers typed out sympathy in the comments. The video had torn through the internet like wildfire, and there was no undoing it. Doug Christie, the man everyone once admired for his devotion, was now the face of betrayal in real time. Inside his home, silence echoed louder than any scream. Friends said Doug barely spoke, barely slept. He walked around like a ghost, still in shock, replaying the same question over and over. Why? The kitchen where he and Jackie Christie once cooked together now felt like a museum of lies. Every room carried a memory that hurt to touch. Every photograph on the wall reminded him that love could lie straight to your face. And while Doug drowned in heartbreak, the internet didn't stop. It never does. Every clip of his pain was turned into content. Sad music edits, reaction videos, hashtag trends. People weren't just watching his life crumble, they were participating in it. Millions cried with him, but millions more refreshed for updates. His tears became everyone's entertainment. Meanwhile, Montel Jordan vanished. No statements, no interviews, just silence. But that silence said enough. The man who once sang about love and faith was now branded a traitor. Concerts were canceled. Sponsors dropped out. His songs became reminders of the betrayal that shattered the world's favorite couple. This is how we do it, fans mocked bitterly online. Apparently, this is how you betray your best friend. Then came Jackie Christie's disappearance. No post, no denial. Just quiet, the kind that feels guilty. Her old videos resurfaced, interviews where she called Doug her soulmate, moments that now felt like scenes from a lie. The internet picked them apart frame by frame. Body language experts pointed at her eyes. See that? They'd say. That's deceit. Overnight, she went from adored to despised. The perfect wife became the villain in her own story, but nothing cut deeper than what came next. Leaked emails, screenshots, bank transfers. Insiders claimed Jackie Christie and Montel Jordan weren't just lovers. They were business partners in betrayal. Money had allegedly been moved, accounts opened in secret, funds redirected. What began as heartbreak had turned into a high-stakes conspiracy. He lost more than love, one report read. He lost millions. Doug Christie stayed quiet, at least for a while. Then one night he went live again. The same dim light. The same broken voice. "You can steal my money," he said softly. "You can even take my heart. But what you'll never have again is my peace." The world froze. Millions watched him speak, not as a celebrity, but as a man stripped bare. His pain was raw, unfiltered, and heartbreakingly human. Even people who had never heard his name before now felt connected to his story. Across TikTok, users cried in duets. On Instagram, quotes from his live became captions for breakup posts. The internet for once wasn't laughing, it was grieving. Chantel Christie, his daughter, finally spoke too. Her voice cracked as she said, "I trusted my mother. I believed in our family. Now I don't know what love even means." The clip broke everyone. You could hear the pain of a family torn apart, not by outsiders, but by the people who were supposed to protect it. And still, Montel Jordan said nothing. The silence was almost sinister. Fans begged for a statement, an apology, a shred of remorse. Nothing came. His social pages turned into war zones. Every comment an accusation, every emoji a scar. The man once loved for his voice had lost the right to speak. Doug Christie's story became more than a headline. It became a symbol. Every person who'd ever been betrayed saw themselves in his eyes. Every scarred heart found comfort in his survival. The world wasn't just watching him, it was healing through him. Weeks passed and the noise finally began to fade. But the damage was done. Jackie Christie was gone from the spotlight, her legacy in ashes. Montel Jordan's career never recovered, and Doug Christie somehow kept standing. He didn't try to clear his name or rewrite the past. He let the truth speak for itself. When he finally posted again, it was just a single line. Sometimes losing everything is how you find yourself. It wasn't a cry for pity. It was peace. Real, painful, hard-earned peace. That post shattered the internet all over again. People shared it like scripture. They called him the man who turned pain into power, heartbreak into honesty. The scandal had started as destruction, but it ended as transformation. Because now, Doug Christie was more than a man betrayed. He was a reminder that trust is fragile, that silence can scream louder than lies, and that in the digital age, even love, the one thing meant to save us, can be weaponized. And as the dust finally settled, the world looked at Doug Christie, standing alone but unbroken, and realized something simple. Sometimes the most powerful revenge is surviving where others expected you to fall.